The clitoris is central to female sexual pleasure. Much of it lies beneath the surface and forms a complex structure similar to a penis. It contains thousands of nerve endings that make it highly sensitive. Yet, millions of women and girls around the world are unable to experience this intimate joy.
For example, orgasm, I've never experienced that. I've been having relationships with men, and the only thing that we get to get apart is because of that.
Female genital mutilation, FGM, involves the complete or partial removal of the clitoris and sometimes the labia, and is usually performed on young girls. This deeply entrenched cultural practice has been around for generations. Of the 200 million FGM survivors worldwide, over half are African. But more and more young women are stepping up and speaking out as the resistance against this practice grows. Several countries have banned it completely, and survivors, along with activists, are shedding light on its lasting effects, both physically and mentally. In this special series, we are on a mission to show how some survivors are taking back their autonomy through clitoral reconstructive surgery. Our journey begins in Kenya, where FGM rates are going down and advocacy is gaining momentum. Here, an increasing number of survivors are reaching out for surgeries to rebuild clitoral tissue that was harmed or removed during FGM. We're heading to Kajira, a village in southeastern Taita Taveta County, where several cases have emerged. Let's meet Mary Chow, an FGM survivor.
Welcome. Asante. Tumefika.
Pole kwa safari.
Ni mbali?
Sana. Nafurahia umekuja. So watu wangu watafurahia sana.
Asante. Sasa tuko wapi hapa?
Karibu sana. Tuko Kajira.
Kajira. Hapa ni Kajira.
Mary Chow now lives in Germany. But this is her hometown, the place where, at just 4 years old, she underwent FGM 28 years ago. Whenever she returns home, she gathers the women in her community for open and frank discussions about the practice. In Kajira, FGM is still happening. Practitioners often target newborns to evade the law. Many cases only come to light later on in clinics when complications arise as the girls grow up. Others, like Mary, suffer in silence until the pain eventually catches up with them in adulthood. She has buried her childhood trauma for years and does not often revisit that moment. It's clear that she has long struggled with the consequences.
Nilikuwa napata labda wanaume. Si unajua natafuta mahali kwanza kuna network.
Kutafuta kisimi kiko wapi?
Kisimi kiko wapi? Wakiangalia hakuna chochote. So kuna mmoja anaweza mpata leo, kesho akakuacha. Kuna mmoja anaweza kuvumilia vile ulivyo, akabaki na wewe. Lakini mimi nilikuwa nataka kuhisi kama mwanamke. Na nilikuwa nataka kuhisi, yani vile marafiki zangu wananiambia vile wanajisikia. Nilikuwa nataka kujisikia hivyo.
Some of the women Mary talks to are former traditional cutters, possibly even the same ones who inflicted pain on her as a child. Returning home always brings mixed feelings for her.
Kwa mimi, nikiongea kimimi niko type 2. Kwa hivyo mimi niliregeshewa.
Unamaanisha nini ukisema yako ilikuwa ni type 2?
Type 2 inamaanisha vile walikukata. Kwa hivyo hiyo kisima wanaweza toa kabisa, hiyo kisimi. Hiyo kisimi wanaweza toa kabisa. Alafu wanatoa kila kitu. Kwa hivyo kumaanisha usikii chochote. Wewe uko hapo kama mwanamke.
But Mary's experience resonates with many other FGM survivors. From Kajira, we are off to Mititi, another village in Kirinyaga County. FGM rates here have significantly dropped among teens, but silent cases still pop up, especially among girls under 4.
This is Kirinyaga County in central Kenya, predominantly inhabited by a Gikuyu community. In this place, FGM was previously used as a rite of passage. Although the cases have significantly reduced, some survivors still harbor the burden of the cut. Today, I'll meet Evelyn Nyambura, one of the survivors, who will take us through her life after the cut and her hopes after the reconstructive surgery. Come with me.
Evelyn Nyambura was caught as a child and has carried the pain, shame and sense of loss for years. She bravely shares her story, challenging the societal judgment that often silences those who speak up.
Wanaume watatu. It was in a forest. There were other girls waiting to be cut. Yeah, it was done forcefully, and they put salt on me when I could not bear the pain, and that's why I decided to run home and leave my mom and my aunt there.
Her escape from the forest brought temporary relief, but the scars remain. Just like many other FGM survivors, the damage done to Nyambura didn't end with the procedure.
It has affected me also physically, because I always think that there's someone who's seeing me. The trauma, even self-esteem, my self-esteem has really gone down since then. Yeah.
Living as a survivor for 25 years, her biggest worry is that FGM is still being done silently to little girls in her village. Most of these cases only come to light at clinics.
There is a case of one child that was cut by her grandmother. The mother didn't know anything about it. She was cut by the grandmother and put salt on that wound. She really cried. I would like those things to stop.
Nyambura is now seeking surgery to reclaim her womanhood. She recently heard about clitoral reconstruction, but local clinics in rural Kirianga lack the specialized resources and trained surgeons for this surgery. So she has to travel 150 kilometers from her village in Mititi to the Jaralam Medical Facility in Nairobi's Westlands. At this facility, these surgeries are offered for free to survivors.
So why are you here today?
I'm here to see the hospital that I'll be having the reconstructive surgery. Yeah.
And how did you know about it?
I heard it from a friend of mine. She had posted it on social media, on WhatsApp, Facebook, sorry. And that's why I decided to come and see how it looks like, to see if I'm be lucky to be having the surgery.
What prompted your decision to do this medical procedure?
Well, I don't feel comfortable with my body, the way I am after the FGM. I'm not just comfortable with my body.
The mother of two says visiting the facility will help her mentally prepare. At the clinic, her surgeon, Dr. Arif Chowdhury, and his team counsel her about what to expect and what the surgery can and cannot change. When we asked her about her expectations, Nyambura couldn't hold back her tears.
My expectations are to feel as a woman again, because I'm a single mom of two from two different fathers. Okay. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Okay. For example, orgasm, I've never experienced that. I only do it just to make the man happy, but I've never been happy.
For Nyambura, the decision is tough. The memory of FGM still stings, and the thought of another operation is scary. But this time, she's choosing it for herself. For Nyambura, the hope of renewal after clitoral reconstructive surgery is reassuring. Dr. Arif Chowdhury is set to perform the surgery that will offer Nyambura a new sense of hope and autonomy. After explaining the procedure, he took us to his office to share more about clitoral reconstructive surgery.
Hello, Dr. Arif.
Hi, Tata. How are you?
Good.
First, Dr. Arif emphasizes understanding the different types of FGM. The World Health Organization breaks female genital mutilation down into 4 types, each escalating in severity and harm. Type 1, clitoridectomy, partial or total removal of the clitoral hood. Type 2, excision, removal of the clitoris and labia minora. Type 3, infibulation, narrowing the vaginal opening by cutting and stitching the labia to create a seal. Type 4, all other harmful procedures such as pricking, piercing, or scraping.
Now what we do is we bring forth this part of the clitoris, what we call restoration of the clitoris. Where we have infibulation, that is whereby they suture both sides together, we have to do what is called de-infibulation, which is just basically opening up the area.
The 35-year-old surgeon has performed over 100 of these surgeries, with most patients healing within 6 weeks. He notes that many fear going under the knife again or simply don't know the procedure exists. That's why awareness remains low. Thanks to a partnership with Clitoraid, a US-based organization, they offer this surgery for free to those in need.
The first step is always from the patient. If they can take the first step, the rest they can leave to us. We have been able to change lives. Some patients have said that, Daktari, ever since you've operated on me, the memories of the FGM are in the past.
For some, this surgery doesn't just heal tissue. It helps bury the ghosts of FGM. Back in Kajira, Taita Taveta, Mary shares with her community how the surgery transformed her life. She got her own surgery done in Germany.
I didn't know there's a solution, but now I'm happy that I returned my clitoris, and if I'm dating now, I'm okay. I feel like a woman now. It's very sensitive. I feel good. I don't regret about it. I'm very, very happy. My daughter told me that it's 50-50. You can return the clitoris, and it's 50-50 that it can work, it can be sensitive, and sometimes it will not be sensitive. But in my part, it was very successful. I feel like a woman now.
Mary is just one of hundreds of women who found healing abroad. But across Africa, this surgery, often called repair or reversal, remains largely unknown. In the Gambia, for instance, clitoral reconstruction surgery is still very difficult to access. In West Africa's smallest country, about 73% of women and girls aged 15 to 49 have undergone FGM, usually before they turn 5. Many deal with chronic pain, infections, childbirth complications, and deep emotional scars. Yet, for these survivors, clitoral reconstruction is almost impossible to get. Fatou Balde, a leading anti-FGM campaigner, says most Gambian women would have to travel abroad, often to Europe, to access this surgery.
For me, if I'm speaking to women, I don't want to raise their expectations that there is this service available, which is far-fetched from our reality.
With a fragile health system and limiting specialist training, Gambian hospitals lack the resources for reconstructive procedures. For many survivors, the thought of another operation is also emotionally overwhelming. In Serekunda, near the capital Banjul, 28-year-old Mariama Fatajo remembers being cut at age 7. Years later, she still lives with pain and doubts that restoration can truly bring back what was taken from her.
Even if we are given the chance of having it done to us, it's not going to be the same as what is taken away from us. I am not sure. I don't think it's going to feel the same.
For Mariama, healing means learning to live with what she has and fighting to protect younger girls from the same fate. Activists argue that, for now, the focus should be on ending FGM itself and upholding the 2015 ban, which is currently facing legal challenges. Our journey circles back to Kajira in Taita Taveta, where Mary Chow's advocacy is making waves. Her efforts resonate with both the elders and the youth. Among those listening is Josephine Manange, a former traditional cutter. She regrets having subjected so many girls to the cut and blames it on adherence to harmful traditions.
Tunaona hiyo ilikuwa ni zamani za nini? Za ujinga. Na watu lazima walikuwa wakifanya hivyo. Lakini serikali iliposema msifanye hivi, muache. Hata mimi niko na watoto, kama mtoto wangu mmoja sijafanyia hiyo kitu, hata wajukuu. Hata sasa ni wakubwa. Sijafanya hiyo kitu.
The traditional cutter also shared that if she were younger, she would consider clitoral reconstruction.
Lakini kwa sababu sasa nimefika miaka 70, hapo sina tumaini kama nitaregeshwa. Labda watoto wangu wale ambao wamekatwa na wajukuu wale wamekatwa, na watangazia taarifa kuregeshwa kuko na ukae na uke wako vizuri.
While not every survivor seeks surgery, many are reclaiming their power to define their womanhood, whether through activism, therapy, or simply talking openly about their pain.